Hey, welcome back, fam, to another episode of I'm Telling You. As always, one of your hosts, Mr. Philly D. And you are good, sir?
Mr. Gemini. And how are you doing tonight, Chef Philly D?
I'm doing, my friend. I'm doing. We just wrapped up one of our intro shows for this. So we always got side content going on. That was kind of nice. Which, if you want, go ahead, email. You can hit us up. I'm telling you at directionsandmusic.org. That's IMTELLINYOU at directionsandmusic.org. Yeah, we're always trying to, continue the conversation, move things along, have all that good stuff. And, so it's pretty cool. But yeah, no, it's, I'm enjoying myself. We're doing lots of stuff. We're having conversations, making the world a better place. That's what we do.
So yeah, welcome back, fam. Anybody who's listened to our show, I don't know, in our crazy rantings so far.
Why are they going to be crazy rantings?
Anyone who hasn't, just let it flow, man. It's all good. Anyone who hasn't, so, I don't know.
Yeah, first-time listeners. Yeah, this is 30-year friendship, and we just chop it up about everything, and nothing, with like movie quotes and music quotes and
philosophy and Wu-Tang and...
I think that's one and the same.
Somehow there's a weird tie-in with everything.
It's like synonymous. When you say Wu-Tang, I just hear philosophy.
It's a lovely, beautiful thing. It really is.
We are a big, beautiful thing.
Big?
Well, I don't want to be small.
Well, we
probably already are small, so it doesn't really matter. What size anyways? It's just perception.
It don't matter.
It's like time and space. And
it don't matter.
All right, this is what we do. We're not even into it, and we're already on a tangent. That's what we do, right?
The tangents have tangents.
They usually do with us, but we've talked about that before. Where there's times where we've gone off on our own stuff. So many like third adjacents to, twice removed, and somehow yet there's like the answer comes back around out of it somehow, and it's just like, how did we do that?
How is there a tie-in with any of that?
I know, right? We took like 2 lefts at Albuquerque, and yet we still got there. It was weird.
Well, like I said before, 2 wrongs don't make a right.
They certainly do make a left.
But 3 lefts do.
No, three rights and you're a left.
Who's on first?
What's on second? I don't know who's on third. I wish they would bring back vaudeville. I really do. I miss that stuff. That, like, to me, that was true good comedy.
The live, like off the cuff, playing off the audience, like
the Abbott Costello, Charlie Chaplin, like all that kind of stuff.
All right, yeah.
I'm sure there's many better examples.
Well, I think they kind of came out of vaudeville. I don't know that it was necessarily.
Well, but that's what I'm saying. That's why I was like, but that's that style where you have to have stage presence, where it's kind of like how we were talking about with doing a radio show. You have to have the pitter patter, and you got to have the weird washboard sounds and the who's what's. It's like boom, all that kind of stuff to build that word picture. So when you had vaudeville, you didn't have the wow of like CGI and stuff that they do in the movies nowadays. So to me, it's like you had to bring the real funny. You had to have the actual satire. You really had to like let it be. It had to be more of a performance.
Projecting and putting it out there and just really just being way more animated than maybe you normally would be, just because you're,
like literally projecting.
You got to get that guy in the back row.
Yeah.
Way up there.
He's got to hear you, because there's no PA, there's no house mic. It's not. Yeah, but that's why they had the amphitheaters built the way they did, is because it was for sound reverberation. So it was that it would like actually like pump it out. So it'd almost be its own like megaphone in a sense, and would allow whoever the presenters were to project it even better for them.
Well, kind of like the old amphitheaters, right?
That's what I just said.
Yeah, the old stone amphitheater is really, really old, yeah, and then all the way up to like even circus performers. In some ways, the way that they shape, whatever. The inside of the tent and the structures within there to create a certain sound dampening quality that kind of moves all the sound in. And
I have no idea.
I don't know. Well,
dude, that's where we need a fact checker, because I'm going to be like, I want to call bullshit on that one. Like, where did you read this? Can I get some qualifications on it? I'm not is this like an internet thing? Are you dating a guy from France that's a model? Bonjour. Yeah, is that what's happening here? I met him on the internet, so you know it's real. No, it's not. Just walk away.
It's always somebody in Canada or, you know.
Why is it going to be?
No, I mean, yeah, I'm dating somebody. You know, they live in Canada.
Oh, and that's, yeah, no, I get that.
That was like the running joke.
For a moment there, I thought you were like throwing Canada under the bus again.
No,
like,
not again. It was
not again.
Actually, the other way around. It was more like picking on Americans, like the way, you know.
Well,
no, I got a girlfriend.
All right.
She's in Canada.
Yeah, you wouldn't know her.
Nobody's ever going to meet her.
I wouldn't know her in Niagara Falls. Oh, yeah. Well, Brian, what's his name?
Yeah, what's her name?
No. Well, he did that. So that was the running joke in Weird Science and Breakfast Club was that Brian, who was then, I guess, Gary in Weird Science.
Gary.
Yeah, he kept having like this one girlfriend, but like nobody knew her. I think it was even in 16 Candles. I think like dude, there's just
a running joke.
That was the running joke with John Hughes is that this character always had a girlfriend that nobody knew because he met her at Niagara Falls or something. Oh, you know it. Yeah, it's beer 30.
I was gonna say
it's beer 30 somewhere.
I see. Oh, we're gonna clink prior. Oh, okay.
Salud.
And then.
Oh, you got it all over the table. At least it wasn't me this time.
At least there's a table. This is beautiful.
Yeah, right, dude. We have like all new digs. We've been upgrading and stuff. I love this, man.
You've been upgrading. I'm just kind of going along for the ride.
Well, I heard that about you. But that's the thing.
What does that mean?
You don't even know. I don't even know. Nobody knows.
Nobody knows. We're just going to let that hang there. I don't even know what that means, so I don't know if that.
Put this right here.
If that was an insult, is there something I need to focus on? Is there something we need to work out here? Are we good?
Well, like you said, I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing for you.
I'm not just. Yeah, I'm not laughing. Well, no, I'm laughing for you. That was pretty funny. I have to admit.
That was quite hilarious.
I don't know where that came from, but it worked for me.
Deep in the cockles, like way down in there. I mean, they had to come from somewhere.
That's way down.
Why did you have to make that face? You can't.
Well, there was from Office Space. The guy that was putting him in a trance, and he was like having a heart attack at the same time.
Wait, he like clutches his chest. Wait,
and he counts down to 1, and then he just passes out.
Yeah, and then he just dies, and then
our boy is just sitting there like totally in heaven. Like
he gets up and just walks out, and everybody's like freaking out. Oh my God, call the ambulance! Oh no! He's just like la la.
He just he just licks his lips and smiles and just falls back asleep for another 3 hours, you know.
But dude, that's the thing in that though is where he's talking about. He's like, so wait, every morning you wake up.
Yeah, this is like a normal day. So like
every day you wake up, this is like the worst day of your life. And he's like, yeah, pretty much. He's like, wow, that's messed up. Yeah, the professional tells him, that's messed up. But hey, that's such is life, I suppose.
So what the assumption was that he just kind of like he allowed him to go into that completely relaxed state, and somehow he never got pulled out of it. So he just stayed. Well, excuse me. He just stayed in that relaxed state. Like,
well, yeah, he was put.
There was no filter. There was no.
Because the general sense is he was going in to clear out. The programming that was in his brain, and he was installing new programming, but all he did was like wipe it clean, and all he's just like la 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 la. I'm gonna go watch Kung Fu. Yay! There's so many great lines out of that movie, though. There really is.
That was a really funny movie. My brother kept yelling. He's like, I don't know how you haven't seen that movie. You've been working in corporate America for how long? And when I watched that, I was like, I don't know either. That was a really good movie. It was totally on point.
Oh, in so many ways. Where like when he comes in,
by the makers of Beavis and Butthead. So
he comes in and sits down with the Bobs for the first time or whatever. He's just like, yeah, it seems here you've been missing a lot of work. He's like, well, I wouldn't say I've been missing it. Yeah, no, that's those are the one-liners that are just freaking. They're just great. I mean, the scene where they're like all gangster and out on the freaking fax machine. And he comes in with the Louisville Slugger and just starts like going to town. He's like pounding it with his fist. Oh yeah, dude.
Michael Bolton.
Yeah, Mike. you just call me Mike.
You just call me Mike. Your name is Michael Bolton. Any relation?
I think he's my cousin. No, I'm just kidding.
It was a good name.
Yeah, what's the other? Yeah, Nahinajad. How hard is it to say that? Not Nahinajad. Like it just.
Naina? Naja.
Yeah, Nahinajad.
No.
Not gonna work here anymore. You can.
So many good quotables in that.
There's so many. I mean, that's just. I mean, because you always do the one where it's just like I said, no salt on the margarita. Yeah, dude, like
That just cracks me up.
I know.
No salt.
And they switched my stapler to
They went from the bow stitch to
the
the
swing like. I want my stapler. 'Cause I'm gonna burn.
You know what's funny too? There was no such thing as a red swing line before that movie.
Yeah, right.
Did you hear about that?
I did.
Yeah, it actually got developed after the fact. They decided we'll make a red swing line because that movie's just obviously so awesome.
Yeah, it is. Well, so like how you said, it's that movie for people that are in corporate America. To me, the reverse is for those who are in like the service industry is the movie Waiting.
Right. Exactly.
It's the same exact thing. However, it's just that different platform or that different industry in, how it is. And so.
Well, they're picking on all the stupid things like the office birthday parties and, the stereotypical, cube farm. I was told that I could listen to my music at a reasonable volume between the hours of 9 and 3.
Yeah. I was never you did that. I never did that where I had to sit in a cubicle and do that. I've never been like locked in with those four walls like freaking Neo in the Matrix before he gets pulled out and he's sitting there and he gets the slide phone. I've never had that incident happen. Like it's just never been in that environment.
I don't know.
Not my thing.
I don't know. It was easy enough for me, I guess. But yeah, you do kind of just tend to put blinders on and just every day fades into the next.
That's really dark and sad.
For me, apparently that's all it was.
Okay. I like how you want to own that as your perception.
Yeah, I mean, for me, that's how it was. So I don't want to take anything away from anybody else, but,
That's your experience.
For a lot of people like to work at a desk at home or in corporate America. I'm not taking anything away from that. But automaton, that's,
Automaton.
When I was behind the desk, I was that guy.
Automaton.
Almost.
Automaton.
I appreciate the attempt.
I bring the funny.
Let's talk about you. So what's going on, man?
Why is it, dude? It's not always about me.
It's always about you. I
thought we talked about this.
I want you to share. I want you to bring something to the room. That's all I'm saying.
Is it the tree of trust?
This is the tree of trust.
I'm supposed to open up and just. You're not my father.
Anyway.
Yeah, no, I don't know, man. I will say this is in my continued search to just explore and experience, because the more
to boldly go where no man has gone before. No one. Sorry. Oh my goodness. Sorry. Go on.
I'm over here trying to have a real moment, and you're just like, I know that's what I do.
That's what I do.
Right.
That's what I do.
That's what I do.
It's what we do.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
All right.
You're doing my thing.
I'm sorry. No derailing. Please.
Yeah, I know. You're the tangenter. I'm supposed to crowd back in. What happens when you tangent me?
I'm already tangent. I can't tangent anymore.
I'm already tangent. He's already tangented. He can't tangent anymore. No, it's that thing with me though. Is I've really been being more. I want to say grateful and appreciative of even the smaller moments. There has been I want to say a change in priorities of where I'm at and what I got going on. And I'm really starting to get to that point where I'm very grateful for all the things, no matter what, good, bad, however you want to describe it. I'm basically in a place where I really feel like I'm learning from all of it, and I'm being open to that. And on top of that, having the gratitude and the appreciation to learn and accept it for what it is, like that. Doing that again and again and again at this point, as it's starting to build like that new habit, it's a beautiful thing, man. It really is. You start to, at least for me, there seems to be more open doors and more open windows and more possibilities and more things available. And there's always going to be that thing that can bring you down or take you back. And if you just realize that, hey, maybe sometimes this is a really shitty hand that I got dealt, but I'm gonna bluff my butt off about it. And I don't know, so sometimes in life you just got to bluff a little bit, fake it till you make it. But I've been at it pretty hard, just trying to just keep being more good for myself and all things around me, just to set that example. And
do you take a moment in the morning just to try and find center before you interact with people,
every day?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, every day I actually, so I have
because you were saying about being grateful, and I've heard it before, many different places, that just starting your day off with that in mind, like the whole idea of being grateful and being thankful for what you have, living in the now, like we'd like to say.
So and this is one of my bigger things, is I've listened to a lot of these inspirational type people that have basically kind of made it themselves, where they stay focused on who they were and what they wanted to do. And a lot of the things that I hear from them is it's about habits and putting habits in place. And I've noticed from a career standpoint, the more organized and how many positive, reinforcing, efficient habits you build around doing what you're doing makes things so much easier and way more productive. All of that kind of goes into play with everything in and of itself. So I'm at a place where my routine is coming into it every morning is, hey, boom, get up, make my bed. I do. As soon as I'm cognitive and aware, and, I do a little bit of a stretch, because I don't want to jump out of bed. There's no need for me to be, and this is just what I do, but I get out of bed, make it, then I pretty much, go in and do my morning bathroom kind of thing, where it's hop in the shower, get everything going, nice and steamy, wake up. While I'm in there, dude, I do a nice stretch always, as well as a little bit of what, meditation, prayer, whatever you want to call it, where not only do I give that appreciation and reconnect with all the energies around me, but I also ask to basically pay that forward to everybody else and say, hey, I want them to be able to have that opportunity to transcend and be that good person that they are and fulfill their goals today. So I ask for me, but then everybody else, and that's my morning routine. I mean, that's how I start my day every day, is being grateful and appreciative and thankful, even in the pain, because we've talked about that before, where the pain is important. You have to know what that is in order to know what you don't want it to be. So until you actually have that experience, there's not much you can do about it. So to me, it's...
Yeah, again, like my cousin said, when I was like, I didn't realize that this stuff that I was talking about at the time, I didn't realize that this stuff was still bothering me so much. And she said, well, that's because it's important to you. And if it's something I've neglected and it's something that's important to me, I have to focus on it, even if it's something that's negative, because I need to kind of fold that into the realization that is also part of me. But that doesn't have to define me. None of these things have to define us, right? And that's what enables us to move forward. Yeah, man.
I thought there was going to be more. I was waiting for some more on that, but okay. Well, yeah, and we can choose what we allow to define us. I would say the things that we do the most on a consistent level is what we choose to allow to define us.
Right. Yeah. But making sure if it's something you want to continue to do, that because you find that it's true to you, that the sad thing is sometimes, even people that really care for you are constantly trying to tell you who you are and what your limitations are. And some of it's out of love. But remember that, if you keep your focus you know, it's, I guess that's what I'm saying. It's hard to maintain your focus at times when people that really care about you are trying to say, well, you know, this isn't necessarily, you know, your cup of tea. It might not work, or, you know, just follow your heart, right?
See, and that's the thing is, I would say a lot of the times, and this goes back to one of my favorite sayings that I have, is that if somebody's being negative, it usually has more to do with them than it does you. So if somebody is basically saying, you know, hey, now, mind you, sometimes there's actually going to be that case where, yeah, no, you're not going to be that vocalist, or you're not going to be that actor, or you're not going to be an astronaut, or, you know, there's always there's something that could say pretty much, okay, sorry to inform you. Like, could you still do it though? Yeah, maybe, but the likelihood is not. So there are definitely scenarios where you have that. But for the most part, if somebody's telling you like, no, you can't do it, or you should, that it's pretty much them inside saying that they couldn't do it, and they're just projecting that outwards on you. You know, that's why I always say when somebody's being negative, it has more to do with them than it does you.
Sometimes.
Most of the time.
Yeah, most of the time. Most of the time. You got me sidetracked thinking about American Idol or something, you know. That was absolutely the worst performance I've ever heard in my entire life. That's just where my mind goes. I'm so sorry. Always with the apologies.
It's a good thing you're cute. It's a good thing you're cute.
Nobody can see all that.
Thank God for that too, because you're not that cute. You got a face for radio. That's for sure.
Face only a mother could love.
No, it's not that cute.
It's not even that cute.
No, it's only good for radio where nobody is ever allowed to see.
There's danger of alcohol abuse. So
yeah, you're
finish what you're saying. I'm sorry.
You're gonna spray it all over me.
All over the.
Keep it in your mouth.
Studio.
Swallow it. Come on.
All right now.
Yeah, I did it. It's all right.
Put it in your mouth.
See, now you just went one step further. I mean, that's why did you have to do that? You know, I was being funny. You just made it gross.
Hold on, I gotta swallow. All right, anyway. I'm loving the new equipment, by the way.
That's what she said.
Okay. Just walked right. Never mind.
If you're going to keep setting them up, I'm going to knock them down. This is my job, right? You tangent, I corral it back in, I make it funny. This is my job. I mean, I'm pretty sure at this point, like you did get that memo. We have talked about this. This isn't new to you.
So to anybody that doesn't know, this is actually how we hang out now. Right? I mean,
not always,
but for the most part.
And I've said this to you too, man. We need to make sure we have bro dates. Everybody out there, this is for real. Like, if you're in any kind of relationship, whether it's business or personal or romantic, you got to make sure you're like putting some time in there and getting those dates in there. So whether it's like a bro date or a sis date or like mom, daughter, you know, daughter, dad, son, if it's that special person in your life, once a month at least, like, go on a date together. You should do that. Yeah, PSA.
This is what we're promoting now. This is like the bro date or the
self-care and extending it and giving the additional love, appreciation, and respect to others.
If you're
and
not a
enjoying
bro,
the moments.
It's not a bro date. What's it called?
Sis date.
A sis date?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's when your sister from another mister goes out with another sister from another mister, and they like spend time. That's a sis date.
Okay.
Do you?
No, I totally get it. It's all good.
You have daughters. You don't know this? Do you know who Katy Perry is?
Yes, I do.
Are you sure? Miley Cyrus. I don't want to age you, but you know.
Yeah, well.
Okay. So you're like present and past, and all right. So you're up to date. Good.
So you're just going to bust my chops the entire time, or? Oh.
Did you not get that memo? This is what I do.
I don't think I'm actually on the mailing list.
There's a reason for that.
Wow.
I meant to tell you. See what had happened was
nobody really likes you.
The postmaster general hates you. Doesn't want to deliver the mail to you. It's like, you get none. Like the soup Nazi, no soup for you. He's like, no mail for you.
He's got a face only a radio could love.
No, the radio doesn't love you. The fact is that your face is available for the ability of radio because nobody has to look at it. That's the joke. You ruined the joke. Why not? I mean,
walked all over it, ruined it.
Why I deal with you so much?
Wow.
It's because you're cute. It's because you're cute.
I have to tell you,
I do. If you have to ask, do you really need to know? That's another story for another time.
Right. Oh, what was I watching the other day? I saw the. I didn't watch the entire thing, but I was watching the video of your taco tattoo.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I started watching that. I was like, oh, cool.
Oh, yeah. That was Eric Ciccone, a good friend of mine, tattooed a taco on me because, you know, Chef Philly D.
Well, actually, it was the first part of the,
Yeah, he did a watercolor called Toasting Tacos of American traditional style because he's a tattooer.
Right.
So he did American traditional style watercolor of a lady and a gentleman toasting their tacos instead of their like, you know, champagne or wine glasses. And so he did that, and we turned it into an actual tattoo. And I have the first half. We have to do the other one another time. It's like a whole nother thing we're doing. But yeah,
I was watching not the entire thing, but I watched, you know, maybe the first, I don't know.
Yeah, it's only
15 minutes of it. I mean,
it's only like a little over an hour long. Like he didn't take that long to do it. I mean, it's not a huge piece, you know. I mean, it is American traditional, so it's heavy black lines, a lot of black fur because it was the gentleman, so it was a lot of black fur is for, well, because it's, you know, like tuxedo. Because again, it's, you know, gentleman and lady, and they're toasting. That's why they're toasting. They're fancy. Pinkies are out or something. I don't know. It's on my leg. I can't really see it. There's a taco too. So
I don't even look at it.
I see the taco and I'm like, I could go for a taco. But yeah, no. So he did this watercolor for me of that, and we turned it into an episode of him tattooing on me. But yeah, it's only like an hour long because it's not that huge of a piece. So
yeah, I didn't get too far into it, but I did crack up at the one. You know, just. What did you say? Something about I can imagine all the jokes that are going to come out of this.
Oh, dude, you have no idea.
the taco jokes.
Well, yeah, because so there. Honestly, the one big.
Hey there, I like your taco.
There was that one. The one big one that I seem to be getting a lot of is people see it and they're just like, "Holy crap, that actually is a taco." They're like, you know, their brain doesn't perceive it. Like, who would put a taco on themselves, right? Of course. So when they actually realize it, and they're just like, "Holy crap, no, that is a taco." But like, yeah, I got a taco on me. That's what I do.
Well, what can you say? I mean, everybody's got like the standard, like, you know, bleeding heart with the knife through it, or, you know.
Well, and that's my thing is,
like, it's so, you know.
All of my tattoos are an extension of me, you know, whether it's a deep philosophical position or if it's a thing that actually is an expression of what I enjoy or makes me happy or, you know, a memory or, so all of my tattoos have a purpose behind it. And yeah, the toasting taco is just, you know, because again, being the chef, one of my big things is a lot of people that know about me is I do barbecue and I do tacos. Like that's, you know, I love smoking meats, and yeah, I said it.
I was gonna leave it alone.
That's not what she said. But yeah, so I mean, I do a lot of smoked meats, but I also do my twist on it where I'm doing like the different salsa verdes and salsa roja, and, you know, I'll use that as like marinades and stuff. But I'll do traditional barbecue style with like smoke and the pork loins, but with those different sauces, and I'll pull them and I'll turn them into like enchiladas or tacos, or, you know, so I kind of mix it up a little bit. I take like those two cheap genres of, you know, we don't have much, so what we're going to do is make like the best of what we can. That's like carnitas, man, street tacos. You take the whole animal and just boil it on itself for a day or half a day, really. And, you know, that in and of itself, doing it, you just get this amazing, delectable meat where all the cartilage breaks down and turns into like, you know, cartilagen I can't even, turns into that stuff. Collagen, there you go. Collagen, yeah, I don't know. One of those C words, there's science and stuff. But you take those cheaper things because you don't have much, but you just take that little extra time and love and care and mix the right ingredients. That's why a good taco with only like 4 things, you know, a little onion, some fresh cilantro, lime, that carnitas, and, you know, double corn, like the masa, like that good white stuff. Dude,
see, here's the interesting thing is like a lot of people like growing up think tacos. They think like,
I know, I just totally geeked out for on tacos. That's what.
No, but like a lot of people think tacos. They think like the crunchy shell that you get out of the box and the
Taco Bell or what is that box thing? I don't even know.
And that's like, in a way, it's like an Americanized version of
it's an American
Mexican tradition. But what you're talking about is basically the Mexican street taco, where these guys would, they'd make everything from scratch, and they'd do it all from a cart.
So, but here's the thing: is like tacos aren't even South American. Nope. So carnitas, I love this story. Carnitas is actually Lebanese.
Huh.
Oh, for real. So and I think we started talking about this one time. I remember it was Cortez. Cortez, when he came over from Spain, brought pigs to South America. Right, along with a lot of other stuff. Wiped out an entire population of people for many reasons.
Yeah.
Anyways, so he brings over pigs. There's I forget how it comes into play, but somehow or another, the Lebanese come in there a little bit after him, and they have this thing where they basically have a flat bread, almost like a naan, like Indian bread, right? Which is, in a sense, almost like a really hearty flour tortilla, because it's very bread-like. Again, it's like Indian bread naan. And, excuse me, the Lebanese would have lamb, and they would cook the lamb in these basically big, large tandoori pots, big, huge clay pots, but the entire animal. And so they would cook the entire animal, use some of the fresh local, whatever, like lettuce, tomatoes, any of the fresh, produce and stuff as like the basic garnish or whatever. But it would be this lamb with this very hearty pita naan style bread, which when you're over in South America,
chewy and crunchy at the same time.
Doughy.
Proper fresh.
Yeah, doughy, because it was bread-like.
Right.
But so now you're over in South America where you don't have lamb, you don't have flour, you have corn.
Oh, and you were saying that's the invention of the carnita, is that they would use the pig. And
so now they're using the pig that Cortez brought over.
A slow stew of the pig meat, so that you're doing the same thing. You're getting the
you're basically making a Lebanese flatbread pita taco, but with pork and white masa and again the local produce and whatever else.
What you're telling me is that something we think of as a Mexican American tradition is actually Lebanese. The idea of cooking, slow roasting, seasoning meat and putting it with vegetables onto a sort of flatbread type tortilla thing.
Yeah, is a Lebanese recipe that was influenced by things brought over by Cortez.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's funny how the world works in that way, but and now here we are with this,
Well, I always joke that when you go to China, it's like it's not always pork fried rice. I mean, like everybody doesn't eat Jumbo So's chicken. Like that's an Americanized version of Chinese food, and the same thing goes with, like, if you go to Mexico, they're not necessarily always eating flatbread. That's like saying American food is all hamburgers.
Well, no, actually, I think it is, isn't it?
In a sense.
Or a hamburger on a donut. That's an American thing. No, it's
American is everything, though. Technically.
Well, it reminds me of the story, because it just always cracks me up, is that you have me growing up the way I did. Tacos were a normal thing, and not the hard shell, like actual corn, white masa, usually flour or something, whatever. But it was always one of those
corn flour tortilla, usually a small one,
about like a little 6 inch or something.
Inches, yeah,
like 6.25. Right. 220, 221, whatever it is. But I grew up when it would be us doing those. I would always get the tacos and like our tamales or whatever else. Like we would get them on a truck. Mm-hmm. We wouldn't give them in the restaurant. The restaurant was like platas. it was the plates. And that's where you would get like the enchiladas, or you get like a nice.
Like I don't need any dressing. I want the taco. Like I don't want all the sides. I don't want the fancy. Well, that was the street taco.
Yeah, so the restaurant was the entrees, whereas the truck was like tacos and everything else. It was like the handheld stuff.
Right.
The restaurant was for things where you had to use cutlery.
Right.
Yeah, that's where you're getting like steak and shrimp and, all that kind of stuff, like beefsteak and camarones and like, so it's when I finally realized that tacos weren't just like a truck thing. You could actually order them in a restaurant. It's just like, holy crap, you can get tacos in a restaurant. Like, dude, it like blew my mind. But that's that thing though, is wherever the food comes from or how you get to it or like what it means to you, it's always different to everybody. And we have these like different traditions or understandings of them. And, nobody really ever has the true sense of like where it came from. And, everybody's just like, oh, I think you can think whatever you want, but
that's so funny though. I mean, that it is a part of Mexican tradition, like the street taco. But at the same time, you're saying it came from something completely separate from that, like.
But it's not even Mexican; it's South American,
right? And it just kind of
and it migrated up.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing, man.
Yeah, so there's this comedic.
I like tacos.
There's this comedic documentary in a sense. It's John Leguizamo, where I think it's like the complete history of Latin America or something to that effect, where he basically explains a lot of this stuff where he doesn't necessarily like go through the detail I just did on the whole carnitas thing, but he touches on like Cortez and bringing over disease and all these things, and so like where the true influences come from, and because most people don't know this, man, is like Latin America, when their native blood was modified, like the genetics, it was from Spanish rulers. Which, what he points out, it's like, dude, you come from royalty. Like, like not only are you like Aztec warriors or Mayan warriors, so like not only are you like good, proud people of the planet and you are like good and giving and you like go back and forth, like, it's reciprocal. But the other side of your blood is also royalty on top, where it's like you can be of all those things of the earth and have those perceptions, of like superficial components, wealth and whatever else. So these people, like Latinos and stuff, like most people don't realize it. They come from a lineage of like good blood on both sides, and most people in the world, no matter where you're at or how it is, like we just want to talk trash on people. And it's like, dude, you don't even know your history. It's like, you don't even, like how can you say that about a people when you don't even know what they are or where they come from? Like, dude, it's horrible. I don't know. That's just me. Like, Go judge yourself, Judgy McJudgerson.
I mean, I'm more from the school of thought that we're all kings and queens. We're all princes and princesses.
And brothers and sisters and aunts and uncles.
And yeah. The idea that somebody is ordained because their bloodline can be traced back to, I don't know, whatever. I don't buy it.
Stardust. We all go back to Stardust.
We all go, yeah. I mean, your body, or your spirit doesn't travel with your bloodline, right? I mean, your spirit is something separate from that.
Yeah, and seeing I think that's a whole nother conversation.
Is it?
Well, I mean, it's a part of this. However, in and of itself, that's a whole conversation.
It totally could be. Yeah, absolutely.
Give it its own right. Give it its due worth. Why you gotta sell it short?
Gonna do what it do, baby.
You're gonna do what it do, baby.
I do love that.
I know. We gotta put that on T-shirts or something. And we should give them away.
We can't steal that though. That doesn't belong to us.
We didn't. We're just giving stuff away. We're not trying to make money off of it. See, here, that's the thing, man. It's when you start to make money off of it, that's when all of a sudden it's like, whoa, you can't do that, because it's like, hey, where's my cut?
No, just trying to do something, just to do it.
I'm just passing out love, bro. Just passing out love. Yeah, we need T-shirts.
Yeah. Well, we can do that.
I listen.
T-shirts, hats.
I listened to "I'm Telling You," and all I got was this lousy T-shirt. We need one of those.
Really? You want to go there?
Ooh, we can even do hoodies.
That's just.
Yeah, I listened to "I'm Telling You," and all I got was this lousy hoodie. But at least I can put the hood up and
we'll have to work on some better ideas. And then I think it was.
We need a marketing department. we need all departments. We need fact checker department.
Well, we got a fact checking machine now. We just need somebody to run it.
I know. I've been upgrading the studio for us.
It's sitting in front of you. You haven't touched it yet.
Because I don't need to play with it. I have you.
I'm not really sure how to take that.
That's what she said. I don't know how many times in a night can we actually do that. Probably 17. I don't know. I'm not counting though. I'm not very good. I only have 10 fingers. They tell me.
Ding.
Dude.
Yeah, I don't know. I got nothing.
Well, that's not
what?
That's not common actually. Why? In the beginning, it was. This is I love this about watching you and the way you've progressed from the first time. Do you remember? Because we used to have lapel mics, right? Like we did lapel mics and omnidirectionals that just picked up everything. We're in my reverberatory kitchen where there's just like, the Grand Canyon of echoes.
And even then I was like, I'm happy with it because it's content to me. I don't care.
And that's another, it was horrible though. It took me years of begging and pleading and joking with you.
We're going to talk about this every episode.
I think it's worth bringing back. We never finish the conversation. We know this. It just keeps going.
Well,
it's just the same conversation that never stops.
I love my whole argument, I laugh every time I think about my whole argument. I'm like, nah, dude, ain't nobody gonna listen to that. That's just the two of us just going on about nothing.
Well, see, that was the original sell on it, was like, I want to be able to remember these jokes that we come up with because our stuff is hilarious. And it's really just, we either think or thought or saw, or we're just laughing at each other. And it's not that it's actually funny. It's just we're laughing at each other.
And I don't think people were laughing with us either. I think they're probably more laughing at us, but that's okay.
Yeah, I'm laughing with you. I'm not laughing. And I'm laughing for you.
I'm not going to get all judgy.
Yeah. I was over there in the corner. Yeah, no, we don't. We don't like being judged.
Unless it's really judgy.
I like being based, like, if you're going to judge me, style points. Like, how well did I stick the landing? Come on, man. Really? That's not a joke.
I'm going to say critique, right? I mean, if you're going to just say, you suck, that's not critique. That's just,
That's criticizing.
It's just rude.
Well, see,
that's not even criticism. That's just rude.
We've talked about this before.
That's not constructive.
As a manager, there's a style called the 3 C's. And I really like this because it's a great approach no matter you're trying to give somebody a compliment or if you're trying to give them an actual critique, if you're just trying to communicate with them. When you... Oh, you do. I've used this on a personal level.
You talking about the sandwich?
No, it's not a sandwich.
Oh, okay.
See, sandwich is where you do compliment, critique, compliment.
Okay. That's what I thought you were going
to. No. So the 3 C's is actually compliment, critique, challenge.
Ooh, okay. So you leave it open to, come on.
Well, but
give me some more.
So, and that's the thing is, so no matter who you are, what you got going on, especially us, we say this all the time: is we're always trying to grow, we're always trying to be better, we're always trying to do more things.
I'm really trying to grow.
Not that way, but yes. So we're always trying to be better. Whether we don't know what level that means, but we're at least going to attempt it, and we're going to try. So we're always going to be attempting to better ourselves. When you express something to somebody, there should be, and to me, this is, again, because whether you're actually trying to critique them or if you're just trying to engage them or continue the conversation, if you're just trying to make this a positive experience, when you do the 3 C's, which is, again, compliment, critique, challenge, you come into it and you're just like, you know what? You've just really been crushing it lately. Like, dude, life is great for you. You are so baller. You're the best ever. I'm going to tell you, though, I saw this thing, and I kind of feel like it should have been in this kind of a fashion. So what I was thinking is like, hey, maybe next time let's try it this way. Now, all of a sudden, even if it's, again, because whether you were trying to critique or you were just trying to, help grow or you really just wanted to pay an appropriate compliment without sound like, you're a butt kisser or something, giving all that things of this, that, to the other, and you're like, hey, wrap it up with, let's both try to do a little bit something different or better next time. It puts everybody into that place and gives you accountability. And so that's why I was like, whether it's
less likely to put you on edge because you kind of start with, and I would be wary of using the compliment too freely. Like, it should always be something that you genuinely feel.
Well, it needs to be sincere. Absolutely.
It needs to be sincere.
Well, it should always be sincere. I mean, to me, a empty compliment is just backhanded. It's just, there's nothing to it.
Well, people can feel it, even if they can't put their finger on what's wrong. Like, they know when you're not coming completely correct.
Yeah.
You know, I think in general. But yeah. Good advice, man.
Well, thanks. That's and again, I mean, that's why it doesn't necessarily have to be in career or business, so it doesn't have to be in that fashion. I use it when, you know, dealing with my younger sometimes, or, you know, dealing with like friends, especially what's like in a weird situation where they're coming to you for advice. Dude, you know, hey, you know, I'm having a hard spot with my significant other, and I really just, you know, I don't know what's going on. Or, you know, hey, work's really been bugging me out lately. I don't know what to do about it. You get into any of those kind of situations, again, where they're like looking for advice. Hey, you know what? You've really been working hard. I can really understand that you've been doing it this way and that. You know, you said this, or you were going about it this way, or there was somehow or another. It's like, you know, I feel like this could have been a different thing. Hey, maybe next time, or when you have this situation, or next time you go to think about it, challenge them again and be like, hey, why don't you do it this way? So whether it's based within career or personal, to me, it's just a great way to approach any kind of a situation, especially, again, if you're just trying to continue that conversation. You know, like, so you and I having a conversation about stuff.
Well, think about it. I mean, that's the best way to make it most acceptable. I mean, if you thought about like, if you thought about trying to deliver that message to yourself, you know,
well, right,
like it would be much more well received if it started off that way. Even though it's like, well, am I so egotistical that I need, you know what I mean? That I need a boost before you can even talk to me about real S. But you know.
Well, but so you and I,
it's kind of psychology. It's like
when we have our communications, because we've talked about Jordan Peterson and the mirroring technique and all that kind of stuff. It's that same kind of thing. I want to make sure I'm repeating what you're saying with your words, but then also with that slight twist to it. Same regard. If I want to continue that conversation, me expressing what you're saying is very much like the compliment. It's adding to what you're doing. It's just like, oh, wow, you know, it's that positive because you got heard. You come back at it with like a slight counter, where it's like, you know, hey, you did say this or that, or, you know, hey, well, you know, whatever else. As we move forward, can we think about it this way? Because again, you know, you want to be inclusive. There's got to be accountability on all sides. So, because, you know, especially if you're doing it as a manager to an employees, you have to be held accountable for their actions ultimately as well. So that's why I was like, again, personal or career, it's a great way to continue the conversation. It's a great way to communicate stuff to people about things, whether it's a compliment or a critique, or it's just a nice way to approach.
Yeah, and maybe focusing on trying to get your message across in that kind of a way could help you from, you know, blowing up inappropriately, or.
Well, I think even Jordan Peterson,
you realize that it's easier to kind of coax somebody to believing your way of life instead of trying to beat it out of them. You know that.
Well, yeah, because Jordan Peterson, he was even talking about that, where, yeah, you know, if one, you're trying to persuade that person, it's kind of nice when you, like, you know, butter them up a little bit. But then also the fact is, if you attempt to actually almost strengthen their statement or their, you know, their expression or their argument, they feel even more validated, which, you know, like you were just saying, because then it makes it even easier to possibly persuade them. So
that's true too. So much of that, and like I think we've mentioned before, that, you know, a lot of us out there are just looking to be seen. And sometimes just somebody, like you said, mirroring your sentiments, or even just acknowledging, like, wow, you know, hey, you did a really great job today. You know, I may have my little critiques on the side here about things that I would personally change, but wow, you know, like to start off with that. And then it has a tendency to just kind of smooth everything out, the acceptability wise, that I'd be more prone to listening to you and being able to apply what kind of wisdom you're giving me, because I'm already kind of riding the wave of that. Oh, that was nice. Like, you know, somebody actually noticed what I was doing and they appreciate me for it. And okay, who cares if they have critique? You know, that's what I want, right? You know, so it sets you off in, I think, the right mode. That's what I was saying. If you ever had this conversation with yourself, that's how you would try to deal with it. That, you know, soften the blow and, you know, dude, I gotta get my shit together. That was decent, but, you know, like, that's how you would want to talk to yourself. That's how you would want to handle it. You know?
And I think that's why like my bigger point of it was it's about communication and like even more so like you're saying, because it's to yourself, and we go back to it on
because we are our biggest critics, right? I mean,
well, yeah, that's the 4 agreements where you have to be impeccable with your word, which means you have to be honest with yourself, and that's kind of that place where you have to be at it with it. So at least that's where we come from. It I know. We talk about that all the time.
It's hard, and it's hard to always know if you're being fully honest with yourself, because sometimes, like we say, it's you're looking through this cloud of reality that isn't necessarily the same thing that everyone else sees. Like that's how you're receiving the information.
Yeah, your perception or your bias,
and your perception is based on past experiences, pain, pleasure,
your programs,
whatever this matrix is.
You're a matrix.
Yes. No, I'm not a matrix.
Wait, you're not?
No.
Wait, hold on.
Wait, man.
Are you trying to this whole time? No. Yeah, no, I'm aware. You're not. Well, I know you're not the Matrix.
My name is not Neo.
Hi, I'm Tom.
But
it could be. I don't know.
It could be.
For $39.99 an hour. Call now.
Call me now.
Wait, listen here, Miss Cleo. Did you really just go there?
That's just where my head went. Sorry.
I don't know. I guess that goes back to that.
I've already said, don't try to track where this goes, because it's a.
Yeah, don't try to live up here. Yeah, nobody wants to pay rent up there. Like, I don't even want to live up there.
Yeah, you don't even want to visit. It's kind of spooky.
Well, no, I think it was. It reminded me we had that. We were talking about in Living Color that other time. That's growing. The shows that we used to have. No, go back to like we were talking about vaudeville and stuff. The things that we used to consider humor or satire or a open-minded idea, just controversial. We as the human race, as humanity has evolved, those things have changed. And I've heard it several times where it's like, the movies of 10 years ago, 20 years ago, we couldn't make them today because they'd be so censored or there'd be so much overreaction in and of itself. It'd be like so beyond controversial. And it's like Mel Brooks. Mel Brooks is not that controversial.
Really,
even though he kind of is.
But not so concerned about like people's feelings per se. Like a lot of, I get what you're saying, that a lot of the stuff that we grew up with wouldn't even be acceptable in the market today. Like it would be inappropriate, racist, homophobic. I mean, people would put whatever label on it, but like, I guess to some extent, what bothers me about cancel culture though is like, I mean, I understand that, and I understand that a lot of the things that were inappropriate back in the day that maybe were considered funny, they're still inappropriate. But to ignore that they happened, or ignore the humor in some way that those things brought. I mean, like I'm thinking, I'm still thinking back to this Betty Boop cartoon that I'd seen that was restricted from all kinds of in so many different countries, and I'm like, what's the big deal? And I clicked on, and there was something in it that was racist that I was like, oh yeah, that's offensive. But at the same time, I'm like, there's a part of me that goes, all right, I get that, but does ignoring it actually do anybody any good? So, that's my continuing theme, I think, that can't not think about the negative. I keep coming back to that.
I don't know. All of that just reminded me of the idea of the era of when we had all these nursery rhymes.
Oh, geez.
Well, yeah, we've had that conversation before about the monkeys jumping on the bed, and then it's like, that monkey's gone, and, the doctor didn't do anything about it.
Where'd the monkey go?
Yeah, dude, the mom's not talking about the monkey being gone. The doctor's not reporting this to like children and youth or nothing.
And when we were raised with that as kids, we never. I mean, I suppose I guess. I mean, it sounds. Maybe it was. I don't know. I don't know if that was the original intent.
Well, see, my guess
We didn't
is
think that when we were kids. We were just innocent little kids, you know?
my guess is the era of which that most of those songs were created. It's probably racist.
I mean, because I heard that too. I mean,
The likelihood is high.
The terrible version of Eeny, Meeny, Miny, Mo that I never knew.
Oh, do you know
that was just like super offensive.
I know.
But we were just innocent kids. We didn't.
So this goes.
We never used it in that way.
This goes to. We were talking about this before, where I felt that you get into like blues and jazz and rhythm and blues and all of these more traditional American style music is really from the culture of the people that like really built this country. And so many of us don't even realize it or give it that respect or appreciation. And it's some of the most beautiful music I've ever heard. But that's...
Yeah, I was actually thinking about that. I like to listen to the program a little bit on the way here, leading up to when our show is played. So
you listen to yourself talk.
Directions of Music plays a very nice mix. And some of it, I was thinking the same thing. I was like, this is from an era that's so, checkered. But at the same time, like, there's just something so beautiful about the rawness of that music. And that kind of comes through in the voices and the texture of the music and the dimensionality of it all. Like, there's a beautiful...
I think it goes back to what you were talking about, where you have to be able to embrace the pain. You take these...
Except that it happened, because I think in a way, trying to act like it never happened would only cause it to repeat itself in some way. That ignoring that it happened or acting like, well, it's so offensive that we have to ban it on all channels. Is that really the mindset we need to take, or should we be a little bit, we're coming.
I know, dude.
We're coming to the point where we need to wrap it up. But
that's how it happens. As soon as we get going, as soon as the conversation is just like
I say, it just goes. I mean, you're talking about trying to.
It just comes out of us.
Trying to, what is it? Put the cat in the bag. You're trying to
monkeys out of the cage, bro.
Smoke. You're trying to put.
Monkeys out of the cage. You can't put them back in the bag.
Bookends on the Library of Congress. You can't do it.
Yeah, I don't. Maybe we don't. We're not going to talk politics. Congress.
Oh yeah, no.
Dad joke.
The library.
All right. Well.
Anyway.
All right, fam. So as usual, if you want to reach out to us, you can check us out. Send us an email. I'm telling you at directionsofmusic.org. Yeah, IMTELLINYOU at directionsofmusic.org. One of your hosts, and always Philly D.
Mr. Gemini.
Yeah, this is, I don't know, I'm telling you, and we're so grateful that you all stopped by.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, we hope you come through again. Check us out on another time or pick us up somewhere else. I don't know, I guess.
Find us on Facebook. Look us up.
You're on the Facebook.
We're on the Facebooks.
You're a face on the book.
Oh, my face.
Right,
your space.
All right. Oh, baby. This is, I'm telling you.
It never ends. I'm sorry.
I know it doesn't, but yeah, as always, fam, be good to yourself. Be good to everybody else.
Love you.
Yeah, we love you. Peace.
Peace.